in celebration of Trent Lott, we want to go back and do some old Trent Lott quotes so you don't forget what a vile human being he was. So, first, this is the biggest classic, and this is what got him kicked out when he was majority leader back in 2002.
When Strom Thurmond ran for president, we voted for him. We're proud of it. And if the rest of the country had followed our lead, we wouldn't have had all these problems over all these years either.
Oopsie doopsie. Strom Thurmond ran on the segregationist ticket, saying we should keep white folks and black folks separated. And here's Trent Lott in 2002 saying, oh, we wouldn't have had all these problems in the country if we just kept white folks and black folks separated. All right, well, you think, well, you know, he slipped up once. What can you do? Well, let me give you some other quotes. He was speaking in 1992 to the Council of Concerned Citizens, the CCC. No, it's not a coincidence. That's basically a racist organization known as the, quote, white-collar Ku Klux Klan, described that way by the Anti-Defamation League in the New York Times. Okay? He's speaking in front of the white-collar KKK, known as the CCC. Very clever on their part. And Trent Lott says, first of all, he's speaking in front of them, even though he knows who they are, which is outrageous enough in the first place. Then he says, quote, the people in this room stand for the right principles and the right philosophy. Let's take it in the right direction, and our children will be the beneficiaries. Gee, I wonder what he means. Can't quite piece it together. Well, this makes it a little clearer. In 1984, he says, the spirit of Jefferson Davis lives in the 1984 Republican platform. Jefferson Davis was the leader of the Confederacy. I mean, can he get any clearer? All right, well, let's try. Also, in 1984, he said the vote to create Martin Luther King Day, quote, was, well, he just says, quote, I just think it was basically wrong. So Martin Luther King Day, basically wrong. The spirit of the Confederacy lives in the Republican platform. The people at the CCC stand for the right principles and the right philosophy, going in the right direction. If the segregationist ticket had won in 1948, we wouldn't have had any problems in the country. And finally, in 1981, speaking, of course, at Bob Jones University, which at the time, not even at the time, for 20 years afterwards, did not allow white people and black people to date together on campus. All the way into 2001, okay? But speaking in 1981 in front of that university, he said, racial discrimination does not always violate public policy. No, of course not. Sometimes racial discrimination is awesome. It's so sad to see Trent go. I mean, he was such a great citizen of 1948 Mississippi. And for him to leave us, I got tears in my eyes. You know what, though? His vile comments were not just about race. Let me give you quickly some other ones. First about Iraq. You know, he's present-day issues he's got to figure out, too. Quote, why did the Sunnis kill the Shiites? How do they tell the difference? They all look the same to me. Come on, the guy's a total idiot. And then he says, in October 3rd of 2006, Iraqis look like Iraqis, and Americans look like Americans. Except Americans look all different, because we're all different races and ethnicities. But, all right, of course, in Trent Lott's mind, that's not true. An American looks just like him. Nonetheless, here's his words of wisdom in 2007 about immigration. Now, one of the ways that I keep those goats in the fence is I electrified them. Once they got popped a couple times, they quit trying to jump it. That was him advocating an electric fence between Mexico and the U.S. What a lovely, swell guy. He told Senator Tom Coburn, another Republican, about balancing the budget. Balancing the budget is a nice idea, but I got an election to win. Now, this guy's supposed to be conservative. He's supposed to be in favor of fiscal responsibility and balanced budgets. He doesn't give a damn. You think he cares about principles other than racism? Hell no, man. Hell no. And then they asked him, well, how do you get all these appropriations back to your folks, you know, and the people who look out for you? And he said, at least the guy's honest, man. He said it in 2005. The way I do it is I fold them into the bills where you can't find it. I've been around here long enough to know how to bury. The good people of Mississippi are going to miss this guy. I know the rest of the country is going to miss him. All that pork that he found a way to tuck into the budget because he didn't give a damn if it was balanced or not. All that discrimination he favored, and all those goats he wanted to, quote-unquote goats he wanted to electrocute on the southern border, I tell you, Trent, I shed a tear for you today. You remember those old commercials with the Indian with crying and stuff? That's me today for you, Trent. God, what a great thing it is for this country that Trent Lott is getting the hell out of Washington. But of course he's not. Because he's just going to make more money being a lobbyist. And whoever the new guy is, he's going to lobby him to take your money and give it to his buddies. If you see Trent Lott coming, you better run, man.